Hans India Web Conversations. We have with us the talk of the town, the architects that are going to build the new Secretariat building of Telangana, Oscar and Ponni Architects. We have with us Oscar and Ponni Concessa. Welcome to the Hans India Web Conversations, Oscar and Ponni.
Oscar and Ponni Concessa, they have come to India in 1996. Both have studied in the US. They've studied in Ivy League colleges. They've also, before that, they've studied in the National Institute of Technology in India. And they have come back to India in 1996, set up a company because their first project was in Chennai. That was what Ponni was telling me previously. And since then, they have done some wonderful projects, big, small, medium scale. They have done varied projects, and they have won like numerous awards. Let's know about Oscar and Ponni Architect.
Thank you very much. I'll start with a brief introduction. My name is Oscar Concessa, my wife architect Ponni Concessa. We both went to National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli. I graduated in 1986, Ponni graduated in 1987. I went to the University of Oklahoma to do my master's in urban design, and then Ponni went to Cornell University to do a master's in architecture. Both of us graduated, then we worked in New York City in top firms, marquee firms in the US, especially in New York, designing lots of stadiums, university campuses, large-scale high-rise buildings, hospitals, and hotels. And we also won quite a few competitions while working in the United States. So we have lots of experience studying and working. And in 1996, we moved to India, especially in Chennai, because Ponni's hometown is Chennai, to design a university campus in Salem, Namakkal. It's around 200-acre campus for an NRI businessman. That was a starting point. Since then, the journey has been almost 25 years. We have done lots of projects. Ponni will just say a few words on a few of the projects, which are such award-winning projects.
Just on a little personal note, I was a first lady student of NIT Trichy. I was one girl among 2,000 boys. So I'd like to say that I was a pioneer in technical education, because I feel it is in technical education that women can make a huge, huge impact. And I think they're also the game changers and decision makers of the nation. Coming to the kind of projects we do a whole gamut of projects. We do institutional projects, we do campus projects, commercial projects, hospitality projects, and of course a lot of homes. We're also involved in the Housing for All projects floated by the central government. We've won close to 135 international, national, and local awards. We also have an international practice, by the way. We've built buildings in the Middle East and also in Malaysia. So these are the different kinds of projects we do. The largest project we just completed was about 30 lakh square feet. We had a whole floor plate of 3 lakh square feet. And our training in the US is what taught us to deal with large scale projects. It's a volume. You have to think in terms of volumes, and the volumes, you break it down to smaller parts and then fit in all the design parameters which the brief pulls in. So our training in the US made a very, very big difference.
So have you also, sorry to interrupt, since you're talking about your previous projects, have you previously worked in Telangana, Andhra Pradesh? Have you worked on any of the bigger projects?
Yeah, we have done we have completed a 16-story hotel called KCB Mercure Hotel in Somajigoda.
Oh, it's a beautiful building, yes.
Yeah, that's one of the hotels we have done. We have done lots of projects in Andhra Pradesh. We've done quite a few projects for Andhra Pradesh Industrial Infrastructure Corporation. We have also designed a World Telugu Museum at Kailashgiri Hill in Visakhapatnam with 120 feet diet dome. So we have done quite a few projects in the southern part of India, and we love doing projects here because we can do very eclectic projects, use local context architecture, and have a southern kind of crowning glory in architecture.
Just a little bit about the Mercure Hotel. What did you feel about the place? Because the area is centrally located. That must have been a little challenging for you. So how was it working on that project?
Basically, the site belongs to KCB. That was a guest house. That was a large parcel of land. And around 30% of the land was taken for road widening and the metro. So it's quite challenging designing a 150-room business hotel. It was purely a business hotel, but it was very fun designing it because we had to go 3 basements and 13 floors with nice public areas for lobby, restaurants, and things like banquet halls, and then they're all rooms. So it's quite interesting, quite challenging to design a business hotel in that locality. And it took us quite some time to complete because we had a lot of problems during the construction because of the bifurcation. So anyway, finally the project got done like 2 or 3 years ago.
Wonderful. In fact, that makes me realize that you have worked in the area, and I see the hotel. There have been some local elements in the hotel architecture also.
Yes.
It is very beautiful. So for the project of Telangana Secretariat, it's a huge prestigious project for the government, and you have submitted 3 designs last year. So maybe can you throw a little light on the 3 designs and the final design that has got selected?
So basically what I'd like to say is there are quite a few architects who are invited by the government to design the concept. Around, I think 15 firms were called all across India. And then a lot of the firms gave different designs. We had series of meetings over the past 8 or 9 months. We had lots of presentations with the building officials, with the minister and things like that. And finally, I think the department narrowed down a few of the options and were shown to the Honorable Chief Minister. And he finally kind of narrowed it down to 3 firms. And then finally, probably like one of our options, which he decided was the ideal thing which suits the context, the style, and the elements which needed to fulfill a secretariat of a monumental proportions. Regarding the concept, I think Ponni will throw in some light how we arrived at the concept.
So on the outset, I'd like to thank the Chief Minister of Telangana for giving us this wonderful opportunity to serve the people of Telangana. So if you look at the concept of, this grand civic building, I think in my mind, in our minds, it was actually the expression of democracy in architecture. We are now showcasing a building that, emulates the aspirations of the people of Telangana. And the inspiration for this project was twofold. One is the cultural, historical, and most importantly, the architectural heritage of the history of Telangana. And the second one, of course, is to Lord Shiva. The Neelakanteshwara temple, which is close to Hyderabad, was one of the main inspirations. And we've tried to showcase a lot of, the native grand Deccan Kakatiya style of architecture. I would call that as a, the strong architectural element of the project. And then, of course, the design philosophy. Now, we are basically fusion architects. And I believe this project represents the fusion and synthesis of, the political and social systems, the history, the culture, the belief systems of the people of Telangana, especially the aspiration of the people of Telangana. So if you look at, the sequence of spaces, you actually enter into a large plaza called the Founders Plaza, which is a rotunda. The rotunda leads on to a huge, public space of staircases and ramps. And then of course, we've taken sustainable architectural principles. So we have a grand, 2 courtyards on either sides. And then of course you have a colonnade. I'll leave it to Mr. Oscar to, talk about the specifics.
So basically the site given is around 25 acres. It overlooks the Hussain Sagar Lake. It's a wonderful site. What we have done is we're looking at a lot of landscaping. I think the Chief Minister wanted a lot of landscaping. So we have devoted around 80% of the land for landscaping, which is going to have a lot of flora, a lot of native species of plants, and a lot of fountains probably. And the building taken is around 20%. The requirements given were for our 7 lakh square feet building. So we come with a floor plate of around 1,10,000 square feet. So around ground plus 5, total 6 floors, around 7 lakh square feet. So as soon as you enter the main staircase, it's an elevated podium of around 2 meters. You have a grand staircase with a 3-story portico, enter a grand rotunda, where that could be the Hall of Telangana. And then you enter through a grand Founders Plaza, and then you have a grand ramp, which goes right to the 6th floor. It takes people to all the floors. Alongside, we have the service core, the guest cores, which includes the lift, staircases. And then around the grand ramp, you also have these districts showcases. There are 33 districts showcasing their works, artifacts, and things like that. Overall, the building is a very rectilinear building. The frontage is around 500 feet. The other side, that is east and west, is 500 feet long. North and south is around 290 feet long. So it's a long linear plate. And then it's broken down into 11-meter grids. We are looking at post-tension technologies for fast-track construction. And in those spaces, ground floor, we're going to have spaces for public, mainly archives. There's a huge auditorium. There'll be media room. There'll be visitors room. There'll be toilets and all done, planned as per Vastu in southeast and northwest. Toilets have been planned as per Vastu. Vastu has taken a main component of the entire design process. The center ramp or the Founders Plaza is more like the Brahmasthanam, again purely as per Vastu. Now the floors have been designated in such a way that Chief Minister's floor is on the 6th floor. The 5th floor accommodates the ministers and departments. Same thing, the 4th and 3rd, again, ministers and departments. Each of them will have their own spaces. They'll have their own conference rooms, support staff and things like that. The CM's floor will have a huge cabinet room, the minister's chamber, then there'll be rooms for the advisors, and there's a GAD department, the library and things like that. The floors below, which are for common amenities, will be for the staff briefing room and other support staff. That's how it's been conceived. Overall, the plan is very linear. We're looking at good sight lines for circulation so that you cannot have any loss of vision. So it's easy to monitor people coming to the building and exiting the building. There are 3 entrances, the main entrance on the eastern side, then entrance on the northern side and southern side also for the different elements to come in. The different codes have been planned in terms of fire safety, fire staircases, lifts, sprinkler systems, all that has been planned. Adequate heights have been given for each floor for taking care of air con. And we are looking at minimizing air conditioning because Hyderabad as such, it's kind of cooler for a lengthier part of the year. So we're trying to use a lot of natural lighting, natural ventilation into the building. So we're taking climate consideration. We're looking at smart technology. We're looking at automation. We're looking at no-touch technologies. So we're going to make this as much as Ponni said, very sustainable as possible, using local architecture, local artifacts, and trying to do something which celebrates the culture and life of Telangana. That's the basic concept of the entire development of this Secretariat building.
Wonderful. In fact, you almost answered all of my next questions because I was wondering about the security.
Throw some light, madam. Poni's got to throw some light on the landscaping. 80% landscaping.
I was just going to ask you. Because landscaping is one of your specialities. Yes, it's one of your specialities. Yes. Please tell me, Ms.
80% of the land is devoted to landscaping, and of course, you have a lot of utilities. You have parking and stuff. But in the front setback of any civic building should be very well landscaped. And of course, our inspiration was a palace at Versailles in France. I actually spent a lot of time in the south of France last year studying the layout of these gardens. They're more geometrical in nature, and there's a lot of parallels between Indian style of historical style of landscape design and the French style. And so we're using the Versailles model because it then complements the building, the geometrical composition as such. So you have this horizontal plane, which is the beautiful French gardens, and then that kind of links up with the vertical geometry of the fascia. So that is basically the inspiration of the landscape design. And of course, as Oscar said, we're going to use all the beautiful flora of Telangana, which celebrates, the cultural ethos of the state, so to speak.
Now, around the landscaping, we're going to have parking for the chief minister and cabinet ministers, zone-wise designated car parkings. There's a parking designated for MLAs and MLCs. Another zone, parking designated for heads of department and, officials. Then on the outside the secretariat, the 25-acre land, there is a space which will be designated for visitors parking, house of worships, banks, creche, and things like that. Fire station, police station, things like that. The, common amenities will be kept slightly outside, adjacent to the secretariat campus.
So as I was just thinking about the security, because a building like a secretariat would need a lot of security. I'm sure you had mentioned that. But what I also wanted to understand is that I wanted to understand what research went into this whole process. I mean, this is a huge project, and from your own words, I can see the magnanimity of it. So how did you visit any of the places in and around Hyderabad in Telangana? How did you go about it?
We are looking at smart technologies for security systems. So there are a lot of new technologies that come into the market at the moment. We are trying to show that presentation to the roads and buildings department. Then they have to take a call on what type of automation to go for in terms of technology, in terms of surveillance and things like that. Now, there are a lot of sensors, smart technologies available, intelligent technologies. So we have to kind of have a discussion with the roads and buildings department and take it further from there.
Yeah. And as you know, buildings today have to be COVID-proof. That's another element that is cropped up, and Oscar and I have done several studies on how to make a building COVID-proof. And like Oscar said, you'll have to use touchless technology, but more importantly, ventilation, a lot of cross ventilation, a lot of bringing in courtyards. You have to bring in nature. I mean, these are the elements of sustainable technology that we as an architects, we've been talking and talking about it. I don't think people took us seriously till now. COVID has been an actual game changer. So yes, we would definitely like to COVID-proof the building just to take care of future pandemics that can come in. And
Yeah,
of course,
that's
in terms of research, we've done a lot of research on, heritage architecture. I myself am a historic conservationist. My thesis, by the way, in Cornell University was on historic conservation. So we've done a lot of studies on the style of Kakatiya architecture. For example, the proportions of the columns, the details, the brackets. Ultimately, we have to showcase the culture of Telangana. And so a lot of research went into the detailing of, the architectural aspects of the building.
So one more aspect of this whole process is the cost efficiency of the project, because we are in tough times, and that one of the criticism that the government is facing is the timing of the building. So is there any now or in future, I think your buildings have to be also, apart from energy efficient, they have to be cost efficient. So how is this going to be for Secretariat Telangana?
The way we have designed this building is we're looking at zero waste architecture. We're trying to maximize and trying to minimize the wastage of space, maximize in terms of utility and functional requirements given by the department. Then we're looking at fast track technology, either post-tension technology or precasting. So we're trying to speed up the work. When you speed up the work, you cut down on costs in terms of labor and things like that. We also look at a very modular type of design, so repetitive elements, so thereby again cutting on the cost. And we are trying as much as possible to make it very cost effective and no touch, in the sense minimizing labor during this COVID times. So using as much as possible whatever we can do to cut down the cost as well as save time and minimize the number of personnel working at site.
So when do you foresee, I mean, probably the project, the building, the project will start in around the end of July is what we are understand. We understand.
The Honorable Chief Minister said 1 year's time he wants it. Okay. So we'll have to work around the clock and try to get it done.
So usually what, how much time would it take for such buildings to come up?
No, see, we have done buildings in our practice. We have done a 15 lakh square feet an IT park in Chennai, 10-story building in 9 months. We have recently completed 30 lakh square feet, another IT building, each floor plate of 3 lakh square feet in 24 months. Currently, we're doing around 11 lakh square feet at Shastra University in less than a year. So as architectural firm, we have the competence, structural MEP consultants, we can pull it off. We also have very good contractors in India right now who can pull a project of this magnitude. So it shouldn't be a problem at all.
Yeah, especially the question also makes sense because they're going back to the last question of mine, that the time is such that you have problem with labor, you have problem with transport, and you never know what's going to happen in the next few months. So I'm sure
it's like Oscar mentioned, and I've been talking about it. We're living in tough COVID times. So the issue is when you use local labor, you reduce the business of transporting labor from other places, migrant labor. So it means that you'll have to use modular construction. Modular construction is easy. You make it, assemble it. You just need local labor for it. The third thing is that you should use local materials. When you use local materials, the business of transportation and wasting time and energy, bringing them to site is lessened. So these are the basic principles of, sustainable architecture, and it's very much doable. It's very, very doable. Like Oscar said, we pulled off lakhs and lakhs of square feet in less than a year. So it depends on the material you use, the method of technology you use, and also the kind of contractors you bring in. And I'm telling you, India is one of the best places to construct because we have competent people to do this and pull it off quickly.
And I think almost all areas in India have some amazing local material for construction.
Absolutely. That's the thing. So I believe in going Swadeshi. I believe in Make in India. I believe in showcasing and using local resources. We should be proud of what we are on a local level.
So also, just on a personal level, can I ask you, because you both have worked successfully on greatest of the projects, what does each one of you bring to the project that you work upon?
Very interesting.
I think we jointly collaborate in designing right from the concept stage till the finishing stage. We discuss everything which goes into a project, inside and outside the building. So finally, we look at totality, and it's a team effort.
See, it's
Yeah,
a sinking of minds. It's really a sinking of minds. There are certain things that Oscar is very good and certain things that I'm very good at. So we're able to pool our resources and bring out products that and projects that are fabulous. And the awards we have won is a testimonial to our joint efforts.
Absolutely. So just one more, couple of more rather. I wanted to understand, is there any specific requirement that the Chief Minister of Telangana has given you? Because while designing or construction, was there anything in specific that he wanted you to take care of? Apart from, of course, the culture and tradition.
One is the Vastu requirement, is very particular. Then zoning of different spaces, very particular. He was keen about a lot of landscaping in the building, around the building. So these are a few of the parameters he had given.
Yeah. And just the last question is that I was just wondering, as a project, this is huge and it is very prestigious in that sense. So are you, I mean, you've worked on many projects, yes. Are you bringing anything additional to this project because it's of the fact that it is official? It's going to be for, I mean, the last secretariat was there for so many years. And this is something like a part of an architecture, probably something which probably will become an identity of a city in the future. So is there anything additional or a value add-on that you're bringing to this project of yours?
It's definitely talking about the identity of Telangana. So identity architecture is going to be fit onto that building. And this is going to be more like a symbolism of democracy. So it's going to be very monumental, very stately, symbolizing the people and culture of Telangana.
You know, for us, it's so prestigious. I cannot tell you, because it's almost like we're giving a face, an edifice which is going to be timeless. You know, you don't get to build secretaries every day in your life. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I think for us, per se, it is something so phenomenal. I cannot even tell you. I feel that I'm serving the people of Telangana, and I feel very proud to do so and be part of history. You have to remember, Telangana has got a fantastic history. It's a huge mosaic of history. You know, I can't even, when I did my research, I found, but it's also one of the youngest states. So I think it's a combination of two different parameters, and we're giving life to something which, you know, is going to stand for posterity. So I think it is indeed a very special, very special and unique project for us.
So evidently the project has all the elements that you people are known for, the fusion and bringing together two different elements. And I'm hoping, and I'm after talking to you, I'm sure it's going to be a monumental structure in Telangana. Best of luck. Thank you so much. We'd love to see you more often on our hands.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.